on the South China Sea, we do support that. I also want to remind them that we also have a trade agreement between the government of the Gambia and the Republic of China. We also have that in place. So these are the kind of things that the Chinese people can also gain from us to support their policies. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. So basically, we want this to be a win-win situation for all of us. And I think the government has taken a bold step, especially the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, just to ensure that some of these policies that the Chinese people want, the Gambia government will stand side by side with them to support them. And thank you. If I miss anything from the speaker, perhaps they can bring a report. And thank you very much for the colleagues.
We resolve that this Honorable Assembly adopt the report of the Honorable Speaker's visit to the People's Republic of China for the period of 18 to 23rd of September 2017. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those not in favor, please say no. So the ayes have it. Thank you. Proceed. Thank you.
Report of the Honorable Speaker to the 9th Annual Conference of Speakers of Pan-African Parliament held in Midrand, Republic of South Africa, for the period 10th and 11th August 2017, by the Honorable Member for Woli West.
Thank you. Before I start, I would like to recognize the presence of the Majority Leader in the House. Welcome, ladies. I think everybody has a copy of this report. If you like, I can read it, but if you don't want also, I can just give you a summary. And then you read it yourselves. Want me to read it? Summarize. Yes. Yes.
Yes, sorry, Honorable, you can summarize it.
Okay.
Yes, thank you very much.
Honorable Speaker, Speakers' Conference is a legacy bequeathed to Pan-African Parliament by its first Speaker, Dr. Mugera of Tanzania. Essentially, PAC Protocol, Article 18 requires the Parliament to work in close collaboration with national parliaments and regional partners. The reasons are very clear. Since we are on the move to a united Africa, it is important that institutions of that nature work in collaboration, because eventually we'll be harmonizing a lot of things that these parliaments, regional parliaments, and national parliaments and PAC itself are doing. But the conference had three main themes. The first thing is to add a parliamentary dimension to AU theme for 2017, which is harnessing demographic development by investing in the youth. This was a crucial part of the conference. And the other thing is to see how and when some of the AU protocols, treaties, and other instruments are harmonized or are ratified. One among them, which is crucially important now, is the AU revised protocol. And you will be surprised that only 5 countries on the continent have so far ratified it, and Gambia is included in the 5. And the protocol cannot come into effect until 28 countries have. So the new slogan is 28 countries before 2018. I doubt if that is going to be achieved, because when we left there last time, only 5 countries had signed it, and we still need 23 more to sign it before the end of this year. If it happens, that would be fantastic. The other thing is the sharing of experiences and practices by these regional, national, and continental institutions. how do we share our experiences as legislators at our national level, legislators at regional level, because there are, well, not completely yet, but there should have been 5 regional parliaments in Africa today. 1 in South Africa, 1 in East Africa. The East Africa is the one which is fully fledged. Fully fledged because members are not like how we go to power, but they are elected exactly like their MPs are elected in East Africa. So those who are members of the East African legislature are elected members, and they are only in that parliament. They work only in that parliament. PAC also is moving towards that. ECOWAS is also moving towards that. Maybe very soon ECOWAS will soon reach that stage where we elect people to go there, not parliaments nominating people to go there. So that was also very important. But what came out of the conference, more importantly, is the youth dimension. How are we going to bequeath to the youth of Africa a continent like ours? What do we have to do for the youth of the continent in the future? The future leaders of tomorrow. Youth were like the sun at 9 or 10 in the morning, full of vigor and vitality, without whom the continent cannot move. So the emphasis is empowerment of the youth, investing in the youth by way of training them, by way of empowering them with skills, particularly in relation to AU's Agenda 2063. Within that framework, what are we going to do for the youth to bring about their empowerment and their capacity to participate in the development of our countries and the move towards continental unity, which is the fundamental objective of, in fact, the Speaker's Conference. Speaker had made a very important speech there. I think all of you have this speech. So I don't need to read it. I think you should read it because it raises all these fundamental issues that I have just crossed about. So to whet your appetite, I'll just stop here so that we have more room to talk, because for me, this one should be a more important protected discussion because it is about the empowerment of the youth, the role of the youth on a united Africa, the role of youth towards the unification of the Africa, the role of youth about national development and regional development. So, Madam Speaker, I want to stop here so that people will have time to talk about this more fully. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me second that. Can somebody?
There's only one member who has mentioned something which is very interesting, that's PPP, public-private partnership. The Speaker wants me to talk about the genesis of the Speaker's Conference. At the start, I said it is a legacy bequeathed to Pan-African Parliament by its first speaker, Dr. Mungela. And the objective is to create a link between PAP, that's the Pan-African Parliament, and national parliaments and regional parliaments. Because these 3 institutions are the institutions which are currently working legislatively toward the unification of the African continent. And the essence is to share experiences, and eventually we will be even harmonizing, because when I was in ECOWAS Parliament, when I was a member of Constitutions and Laws Committee, we were working on election laws and some other laws in each of the ECOWAS countries with a view to harmonizing them for election purposes. As I said in my presentation, eventually members of ECOWAS Parliament will be elected, like we are elected here into this house. Members of PAP also will be elected as we are elected here into this Parliament. That is why the PAP protocol, the revised protocol, which is now being ratified, and only 5 countries have so far ratified, is meant to bring that about in the final analysis. But let me go to the issues raised. I think I will start with the honorable member of Nassau when he said we have talked too much about youth and nothing is done. A thinker once said, practice without thought is blind and thought without practice is empty. You are very right. And somebody used the word strategic plan, but I add strategic thinking. Development is about strategic thinking and strategic planning. We have NYSS in Macau. We have President's Award Scheme in Macau. These are centers where youths are being empowered somehow, being given skills. But what is lacking there, strategically, is after training and what? These youths don't have money. If you are trained to become a welder, you don't have money to buy the equipment for welding. If you are trained to become a carpenter, you don't have money to buy the equipment to do your carpentry work. If you are empowered with any skill, you need money to put that skill into practice. So that is strategically what is lacking there. I said that in the old time when I said this is useless. These institutions are not serving their purpose. What should be happening is, government should have strategically thought about what to do with people coming from NYSS, carpenters, welders. Okay, we have schools all over this country. We have hospitals, health facilities everywhere. These carpenters, these youth which are now being empowered with the skills to do carpentry, can produce all the furniture we need in our schools. Put them in a cooperative, give them a loan, let them do this work. While they are working, they are paying back the loan as a cooperative. Produce all the furniture in your schools. Produce all the furniture you need in your health facility, the beds in your health facilities. But no, you have that, and they can do this. No, you leave them. You import very expensive furniture from outside. So you are killing it. The very thing that you have created to save you, you are now allowing it to kill you at the same time. Strategically, that's what's lacking in your thinking. There was a farm in, is it Nyanibere or what? There was a farm. Is it Nyanibere? Is it still working? I think it's dead. Because strategically something fundamentally linking lacking there also. Link that farm to processing. Whatever they are producing there,
Sorry. The mic, please. You are moving away from the mic.
Okay. Whatever you are, like for example, they are producing granules. Link that granule production to processing. Change it into oil. Change it into granule butter. Change it into soap. You are also creating employment facilities for more youth. And you are also creating possibility of cutting down on your import bill. You will not import oil. You will not import soap. You will not import margarine butter. You can create this in your country. Strategically, when you have such an enterprise, this is what you must make up for you to survive. But it is dead. Just like Jahal Pachar is also dead. After billions have gone into that project. So this is what is our problem. Strategically, we talk about things and we do them wrongly. That is what must stop. The Chinese, when they close themselves to the world, is precisely they were trying themselves liars. We must do this. It was by force of circumstance. They created what they needed because no one was going to help them. But here, we say, okay, we are looking for loan will come. Then somebody is prepared to finance this project. Somebody is prepared to finance that project. So we are killing ourselves. Somebody is criticizing me in the net, but I afraid because they don't understand what is happening in the world. They say because I'm condemning loans. Yes, I will. They will never help anybody to develop in this country. They have never helped any country anywhere to develop. That is the fact. No amount of grant or help of like in form of loans will help this country. For 50-something years we have been taking this. They are killing us. Your loan budget today is 48 billion. When will you pay that? You cannot. In 1985, the loan budget of this country was about 3 billion. Only 3 billion. You know what the president said? He said this debt cannot be paid until the evil day. Only 3 billion. Now we are talking about 48 billion. It's mounting up like a mountain every month, every year. That will not bring about development. It's killing. That's why your hospital is expensive. That's why even your schools are expensive. There is no free education here. It's a lie. That's why your university is expensive. This is the truth. So youth, to empower them, we give them not only skills, but we must also give them the means to deploy those skills. If we can't do that, then we are not helping them in the end. We can do it. There is money lying about in this country. There is money lying about in this country being spent frivolously. It can be invested into the empowerment of the youth. That's the only way we can do it. But here we have a role to play because all the budgets finally come here. And what we do with it, that is what is final. If you want development, then you must make sure that money must go into those sectors which will bring about development. That is the only way we will do it. We must put money where development will be brought about. We know the sectors. We know the sector. Okay, we know why I say PPP is interesting. Honorable member for Foreign Perfect. Because public-private partnership is capable of creating employment, is capable of generating revenue. Why? Where government cannot go, they create an enabling environment for the private sector to go into it. Why, if a private company is prepared to create employment, is prepared to invest into productive sectors, government should be prepared to forgo all the taxes on such a company, just to make it possible for it to invest, to create employment and create employment for the youth. And by creating employment for the youth, you are also creating possibility of generating revenue. So that is why the private-public enterprise, again strategically, is not being used properly. We must help the private sector to grow. And the only way we can help them to grow, we must lessen the tax on their income so that they have money to invest. But you cannot kill them and yet expect them to invest. It's not possible. The banks are difficult to get money from, the interest rates are high, and you have tax on them. Where will they get money to invest? So strategically, we must be prepared to lessen tax on private enterprises to make it possible for them to invest in order to generate employment for our youth. That's the only way out. And that is the same truth for the whole continent. Africa can create jobs more than what the continent of the people in the continent can manage. We can, even this country can create employment for our youth beyond them. We can. But we are still strategically lacking in thinking and practice. But we will come there. Since we are talking about it here, you young people, I'm very happy that you young people are now the dominant factor in this parliament. You are more than 65%. It is you who must be prepared to learn. It is you who must be prepared to sacrifice. It is you who must be prepared to force. Where force is necessary for everything to move in this country. It is your time. Some of us have been doing it. I was young like you when I came into this Bible. Younger than some of you when I came into this Bible. Don't you know that? you see me as an old man, but I was here young. For the last 30 years, I have spent my life in politics. And for the last 15 years, I was in parliament non-stop. APRC could never defeat me until I decided to leave myself. And I'm back. I'm back to help you young people, to be able to assume responsibility for the development of this country and for the continent of Africa. That is our role today, here. My role here is not only to represent the Gambian people, but to help you grow. To help you grow and become apt in assuming the responsibility of development with self-reliance. That's why we are here for. So, Madam Speaker, I think the questions are all, everybody talks about duty diffusion. The way forward is what I have outlined. We must join our forces to make sure that that way is clear and straight. We must be prepared to do that. First, think Gambia. Let us think Gambia. This Gambia is tired. Let us think Gambia. Yes, I am here in the name of a party, but that's just a tactical formula of getting things done. But once we are here for the Gambia. I'm not here for a party. I'm here for the Gambian people. You are here for the Gambian people. Why can't we come together and develop this country from that point of view? That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member, that this Honorable Assembly do adopt a report of the Honorable Speaker to the 9th Annual Conference of Speakers of the European Parliament held in Midland, South Africa, Republic of South Africa, in the period 10th to 11th of August 2017. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those not in favor, please say no. So the ayes have it.
Is a report on the opening ceremony where the Honorable Speaker was invited, and there she was accorded an opportunity to deliver a speech. The comprehensive speech would not be read as the copy is circulated to each and every member. However, I'll just make a summary presentation on the procession of the opening ceremony. Madam Speaker, I rise to lay before this August Assembly for the information, consideration, and adoption of the honorable members the report of the Honorable Speaker and delegation to the opening ceremony of the 5th Ordinary Session of the 4th Parliament of the Pan-African Parliament held in Midland, Johannesburg, Republic of South Africa, from the 9th to 20th October 2017. This was an invitation to the Honorable Speaker as one of the special guests of the PAP to address the opening session of the Pan-African Parliament in Midland. The Pan-African Parliament was established as an organ of the African Union in order to ensure full participation of African peoples in the development and economic integration of African continent. The first parliament was inaugurated on the 18th March 2004 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, and its headquarters is located in Midland, Republic of South Africa. The ultimate goal of PAP is to be transformed from advisory and consultative powers into an institution with full legislative powers whose members are elected by universal adult suffrage. Today, the Parliament is in its 4th term since inception. The 5th Ordinary Session of Pan-African Parliament was held in the pristine of the Pan-African Parliament in Midland, Johannesburg, Republic of South Africa from the 9th to 28th October 2017 under the theme Harnessing the Democratic Dividend through Investment in Youth. His Excellency Honorable Rogangodo Dan, the President of Pan-African Parliament, opened this session and welcomed honorable members, invited guests of honor, and dignitaries to the 5th Ordinary Session of the 4th Parliament of the Pan-African Parliament. He expressed his gratitude on behalf of the Bureau of PAP to invited guests for accepting to attend and address the session. He promised that PAP will continue to play its rightful role in promoting integration, peace, stability, democracy, good governance, and socio-economic development of Africa. Honorable President Dan once again welcome everyone and wish for fruitful deliberation and happy stay in South Africa during the course of the session. Messages of solidarity were extended. The 5th Ordinary Session of the 4th Parliament of Pan-African Parliament was addressed by distinguished dignitaries around Africa, including the Right Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly of the Republic of the Gambia, Madam Mariam Jack Denty. Other dignitaries that graced the official opening gave solidarity statement during the session included, among others, Honorable Med Nguana Masabin, Minister of International Relations and Cooperation of the Republic of South Africa, who represented the President Jacob Zuma of South Africa. Honorable Daroni Kabadi of Chad, representing the Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly of Chad. On her part, Honorable Mariam Jack Denton extended warm greetings from the President of the Republic of the Gambia, His Excellency Adama Barrow, and the people of the New Gambia to the President, the Bureau, and honorable members of Pan-African Parliament. She was delighted to be associated with PAP as a guest speaker to address the great and august African Parliament on the occasion of the 5th Ordinary Session. Honorable Speaker Denton also took the opportunity to thank the governments of Africa who had stood by the Gambian people during the political impasse, indicating that the Gambians have taken their country back, are creating the conditions for good governance, principles which include, among others, investment in the youth for socio-economic transformation. Madam Speaker, on the theme for discussion, that is harnessing the democratic dividend by the investment in youth, Honorable Speaker Denton opined that this objective could be achieved if we put the right strategic investment and resource allocation that will result to putting our countries and entire continent in the right path for sustainable development. She emphasized that the issue of public-private partnership should be strengthened across African governments, which provides framework for development and employment opportunities for able-bodied youths and groups in our societies. Honorable Denton also talked about backward migration of young people to Europe in search of greener pasture, which he described as destructive to certain communities in terms of development and leadership for the youth to develop to their full potential. Madam Speaker, finally, His Excellency Ibrahim Gali, President of Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, also addressed the Parliament and declared the 5th Ordinary Session open. He underscored the theme on the which the PAP session is held, that the importance of investing in African youth demonstrated the importance that PAP attaches to such a complex and multidimensional issue at center of Africa's quest for social and economic advancement. He informed the PAP members that the Sahrawi government had taken deliberate efforts to involve the youth in the country in the implementation of all government policies and programs. He saluted the part members for tremendous achievement and efforts that the Continental Parliament has registered over the years since its establishment, and hope that the success attained would end into transforming PAP into a true African Parliament with legislative powers. The Honorable Speaker's full statement of PAP is herewith attached. On that note, the Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that this August Assembly consider and adopt this report. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move. Thank you.
And which I want to make, and I would really join my colleagues in commending you really for the job well done. You know, South Africa, Midrand is a place for people with disabilities. They have all the materials. The only thing that I want to tell you is if you go back, then see, there is something we call a note taker. It's very helpful for people like us. And then you know that we are talking about youths and other people, but persons with disabilities also are youths. Youths are there. So I think if we talk about youths, we are advocating for all categories of youths. As the saying goes, the youths consist of 50% of this country. So I think if we are talking about youth, we cater all aspects as far as development is concerned. Secondly, these are very, very important issues like, I concur with the Deputy Speaker. If nobody supports you for brewing attire, I will support you. Because really brewing attire is really taking the youths. They are carrying, but at the same time also, you will not blame them, because if they don't have anything to do, really they will go attire. I think we should try by all means to create conducive environment for youths, where they will be able to showcase their talents, which are very, very important. And then what are those days? During the Fourth Republic, it's true, if you compare it to this time, by the youths were not so idle as they are doing. Sorry for saying that word. But look at the Chinese, what they did for Jahari Paja. The rice was there. Almost we would have been able to export rice. But unfortunately, we see how it is. And really, we need to go back to those arenas, because we cannot say those things are outdated. You see, what they are saying, these are outdated, and they are not good for us. My other colleague was mentioning about, my other colleague was mentioning about the Pan-Africanists, like the Steve Bikos, the Patrice Lumumba, the Kwame Nkrumahs. They were doing very well for Africa. But what had happened to them? We were blackmailed until the Africans got rid of our people, our good people. And look at how they ended. So I think these are all experience, as the saying goes, experience is the best teacher. Now, let us take on board our able leaders, although they are old, as they are saying. But if we want to kill all our old people and we remain as youths, I don't think we will prosper. Thank you very much.
Madam Speaker, I have not spoken all day, because I think most of the speakers here have already covered a wide range of areas concerning this topic today. That's the harvesting of democratic dividends through the investment in the youth. But I don't think justice not to commend you for your participation in the last gathering in South Africa. Just to remind my colleagues, with my little research I did in the area, is just to say that the African Union Assembly of Heads of States in 2013 adopted a declaration, they call it the Solemn Declaration, which calls for the articulation of a continental development agenda, towards the realization of an integrated or people-centered prosperous Africa, which is also at least with itself. So that adoption brought about the 2063 declaration, which is looking at the long-term developmental vision of Africa, of the African Union. And some aspirations were derived from it. Aspiration number 3 was that they are calling for Africa of good governance, democracy, respect of human rights, justice, and the rule of law. But also even further to aspiration 6, this is where the youths come in. It says that it's calling for Africa where development is people-driven, relying on the potential of African people, especially in the youth and women, but also with particular attention to the welfare of the children. So basically what I want to say on this topic is that youths are key stakeholders in the attainment of this goal to make sure that Africa attains these objectives and aspirations, whatever it is. Because the youths, as we understand, which are under the age of 30, constitutes to about 60% of our population, which is not close to about 1 billion people. So we need to understand this, that we have a potential here. That's what he's calling for. The demographic dividend is the potential of the youth. So to harness it, to make sure that it's actually incorporated in our development agendas by investing in them. There are so many protocols, so many instruments that we can call for, but all these frameworks will spell out the rights of the freedom and the duties that accrue the young people and provide guidance on how to effectively and meaningfully explore their potential at all levels and circumstances. So my point is that I'm trying to get to is that with 60% of your population, it can either be a catalyst, for your economic growth and a lasting peace, or it can be a constraint, which could be a source of economic instability, or conflicts. So, looking at it, we have a situation here. Incorporating the youth in our development agenda, or leaving them behind and stand to fail as a continent, but most in particularly as a country in Gambia. So it's been highlighted, some of the solutions to these issues is, and this is where the government comes in prioritizing. Most governments have done it. They have established ministries for youth, councils, like National Youth Council. Most political parties have incorporated in their structures, youth wings, to make sure that youths participate in the day-to-day politics. As can be seen here today, there's a good representation of youths in Ghanaian politics. So which it's a success story here. But it doesn't stop there. It goes on further to say that to actually move on as policymakers today, we need to understand the problem and introduce policies that would address the other youths that are left outside the education. And all we can do is, I think Honorable Member for Willie West has addressed more eloquently than anybody can put it, is to make policies that would enhance and enable environment where the public, where the government, or what they call the public, and the private sector can come in and make initiatives that will encourage employment. There is an underemployment issue, but there's also an unemployment issue. And what we're talking about here more is about unemployment issue. There are so many youths that are not employed, basically because there's no environment to create that employment. Like he said, I'm a businessman too. I know what I've suffered, in the past years. About 100 people are working for me, about 90% of them are old youths, but it's a struggle every day. If at all you are burdened with high debts or tax liabilities, that we cannot actually progress and employ more youths to come in. The fishing industry, where I come from, is a manifestation of what I've done in the past. But I don't want to bring my personal story here. But what I can say is tax breaks, as the honorable member did mention, the elevation of tax levy, this education levy on small enterprises, anybody with a turnover of $500,000 have to pay $30,000 education levy is uncalled for. It's actually discouraging privatization and the private sector to excel. And the brackets, if you look at between the 30,000 payers and the 50,000 payers, is so huge that actually that's something we have to look into. So the whole government approach in dealing with the challenge is to actually, for youth empowerment, is to actually make sure that they create an environment whereby you can have easy access to finance, cheap financing through the commercial banks or development banks or the basic to create startups. But also make sure that we also invest in these youth. That's basically, I think that's why the YEP is all about, the youth empowerment programs, to make sure that they also understand the risks involved, as the honorable member for Upper Salon mentioned. There's so much risk involved in business. You have to understand what it takes before you go into and venture your capital in. So that's my little contribution I want to take to the honorable speaker. Thank you very much.
As earlier on alluded by the member for Upper Salon, that the opening ceremony was an important event for the National Assembly of the Gambia, in the sense that the Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly of the Gambia was among the whole lot of the important personalities in Africa, including the President of the Republic of South Africa, who were invited to grace that occasion that had put our National Assembly to another recognition of the African Parliament. On that, we are proud of the Honorable Speaker for putting us to that level, and indeed all those who were there could actually show the importance that the Pan-African Parliament attached to the presence of the Honorable Speaker. We are at the hotel where the President had to come all the way to look for the Honorable Speaker, and was very much concerned to see her, not only to wait until the session for her to be welcomed, but he was very much particular to see the Honorable Speaker. And I'm very much impressed that we have little or no much issue as far as the report presented is concerned. But I must say that the issues that might have been connected to this second visit are almost the same, since that two have the same theme. I want to believe that that actually narrowed down the intervention of the members. As alluded to, the two themes were themes surrounding the youths, demographic dividend on youths and investment on youths. That shows the commitment of the African leaders as far as matters of youths are concerned. If we can take that from the continental level, at national level, yes, I agree with the speakers that the National Assembly of the Republic of the Gambia should have a say to replicate that position of the African Parliament in our Parliament, to see how best our youths can be empowered. It is not only to be limited to the mere slogan, the empowerment of the youth. We should actualize it. I also agree that we need to create opportunities for the young people. I want to believe we need to look back at our educational system and see how best we can transform in trying to nurture that sense of skillfulness in our young people. Somebody said in the First Republic, there were a good number of schools that were endowed with skill facilities. Technical schools were so common in many parts of the country, and that was helping a lot to make our young people to be skillful. Before opportunities may come in terms of materials or finance, people should have the skills first. Let's create that opportunity for them to have the skills, materials, and financial support can come. But without that, there will be a problem. I have seen situations whereby funding are given to young people, but because they may not have that skill to properly utilize and manage the fund, at the end of the day, those projects all fail. I think transforming the educational system to provide skill training, adequate skill training for our young people is very important. National Youth Service Scheme is a constitutional requirement, and that constitutional provision, we should look at it. What is lacking in order to make the scheme very vibrant? That is what it is trying to entail, to make sure all fresh leaving school students undergo through the National Youth Service Scheme. But here, if investment in that scheme is not expanded, the desire cannot be achieved. Honorable nominated member Deyasin did say conducive environment for youth need to be created. And if there is no conducive environment, they have nothing to do but brewing attire. She wanted to agree that attire should be banned, but on the other way around, before we can ban attire, we need to create conducive environment for the young people to be engaged. Otherwise, they will be reducing only to be hanging in the street, brewing attire. And I also concur with her that we have to make good use of the elders. We need to follow the old people, the old leaders, so that we can benefit from their skills and experience. We learn from them. And this very August Assembly, we are actually doing that. We are blessed with Honorable Member for Woodley West and Honorable Member for Serekunda, who are actually making us, the young ones, to learn from them as advised by the Honorable nominated member. And I will not also forget the relevance of our very nominated honorable member from the First Republic, Second Republic, to the Third Republic, who anytime when he rises up, it puts engine in me because I'm expecting him to say something exceptional. Honorable nominated member Samuel. On that, I must conclude. The honorable member for Upper Flado did say development to be people-driven and that the youth are key and center in this development. That is a task. I believe as an assembly, as a government, that we should be faced to see that it is realized. Honorable Speaker did ask a question that she believed there is a caucus in the Pan-African Parliament responsible for youth matters. Indeed, there is youth caucus in the Pan-African Parliament, and my humble self represent the Gambia in that youth caucus. If I happen to be the chairman of the Tourism, Arts, Culture, Youth and Sports Committee, I think I have a big task to see how best we need to see that the development is people-centered and the youths are taking the center stage as far as development pattern is concerned. And I must say that we are ready and fully prepared to work with the Ministry of Youth and Sport to make sure the national cake that should belong to the youths are given to the youths. But with that, I want to conclude that our youths should be seen to smell a sense of responsibleness in them. I will not agree that the youth should be sitting in the street waiting for investment, waiting for sponsorship, waiting for donation, whatsoever from anywhere to them. We must be seeing in them that sense of commitment. If the sense of commitment can be seen in them, they can be trusted and be given the trust from the national cake. But if we are yet to realize that from them, it will be difficult at this juncture to trust them what belongs to the nation. When I was coming a while ago, I met with a Gambian youth who told me, I'm just from Iraq, but believe me, what I am experiencing in Iraq, if you ask me to do that in the Gambia, I will not do so. But through that I am earning. I think if I could advise my fellow youths, it's better we stay home. The way we struggle in Europe to earn our living, we do the same struggle here and earn our living, and that is possible. If Senegalese or other nationalities can come here and push wheelbarrow at the market, at the end of the day, they go home with something. I see no reason to say what's stopping Gambian youth to do the same thing. If the Guineans can go to the quarry and mine gravels at the end of the day, and they are partner youths, I see no reason why Gambian youths could not do the same. I must say I did so when I was a youth. We used to go to the forest, fetch firewood to pay our school fees, fetch lemon, sell it to pay our school fees. I believe there are other avenues that are available for youth to explore. It's not only the government trying to create scheme opportunities for youth. The youth should be inventing opportunities for themselves. I am not saying that is not happening, but the Gambian youths want to be seen very lazy. I think those days are gone that we should be seen very lazy. If we can take the burden to sacrifice and look for greener pasture at the extent of our lives, I believe we can equally do it here. I must disagree that the opportunities are not available. They are available. If others can come and explore it, we should also make good use of those opportunities. It is true that we can excel, but we don't have to reduce ourselves to be spoon-fed. Our youths want to be spoon-fed, and that is not possible to transform them and transform this country. There is a need for attitudinal change in the young people of the Gambia, otherwise we remain where we are. Thank you.
Since we're talking about youths, there is this outcome document of the Banjul +10 meeting that was held here in Banjul 2016, commemorating the 10-year implementation of the African Youth Charter, will make arrangements to have the document sent to your email addresses so that you can access this, and it will give you a better understanding of the issues raised here. Thank you very much. And on that note, I thank everybody for their intervention from the morning to the afternoon session. And I think we all did very well. And then I put the question, be it resolved that this Honorable Assembly do adopt the report of the Honorable Speaker to the 5th ordinary session of the 4th Parliament of the Pan-African Parliament held in Midrand, South Africa, for the period 9th to 20th October 2017. That is the question, but I think there was a need for clarification. I am not very sure whether the Honorable Member for Bhutan explained it properly. The meeting was from the 9th to the 21st, but we went there from the 11th to the 12th. Immediately, our statement was delivered. We departed Midrand, Johannesburg, and came back to Bali, and we left members of the delegation to continue with their meetings. So on that note, the question had already been read. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. So the ayes have it.